33 and 34. He said, love your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength. And also in this next one, he said, it's also the same, love your neighbor as thyself. And Jesus did not build, Jesus did not have a wife, Jesus did not go to school, Jesus did not handle money, Jesus did not, do what other people are doing to attract attention to themselves, but he still became a man of influence. The other aspect you see in his life is the Holy Spirit helping him to do miracles, and also the third thing, because he made himself as a ransom. He offered himself that I'll die for them. My Father, send me. Let me die for them. But the Holy Spirit did the rest work, walking on the sea, healing the people, opening the sight of the blind. And that's why he became a man of influence to a level the scribes, the elders, the Pharisees don't like him. They don't like him. But that we also, what we are going to look at this morning, we also help you to increase the velocity of what you learned last week Sunday. Maybe in case some people wanted to use their own word to bring you down or to draw you back, then your perspective about life will change. Now, I'm talking this morning again on another subject, which I want you to give me your undivided attention. I'm talking on freedom. 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 It's a good word that is very common all over the world. People want freedom, and people like freedom. But one thing is this: majority of people that you believe they are free, or they believe that they are free, they are only free physically. But two major areas are very, very important. They are not free spiritually. They are not free spiritually. Are you with me? But physically, they were free. And in their mind also, they are not free. So now, let's start to look at how your freedom will come. How you can become a free person. Now, the perspective, many of us, we are imprisoned by the perspective of what people perceive about us. I'll explain to you. And that's what we call facts. What we call fact is the present tense. Things that you can see now. Now, for example, for the fact that you could not conceive in your marriage for 10 years does not mean you will never have children in your life. So there are two different things from, like, for example, facts and the truth. That's why Jesus did not come to tell you about facts. He came to tell the world about the truth. Now, for example, this morning you woke up, maybe you only had 5 Ghana cedis. That's the fact. And you started thinking, maybe you share your ordeal with somebody, and someone say, oh, you are a poor man. But the truth says you are going to prosper in future. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next tomorrow. So you see, many of us, we are church goers. We've learned, we've heard so many preachers of the gospel. But many of the things they are presenting to us, they present the facts to you. The fact is just the present tense of the situation. The fact is the present tense of what? The situation. The truth is the main answer. Is the real you, the truth. Somebody can look at you and say, oh, the fact is that, okay, it's a tenant. But the truth says, you will soon have your own house. You own your own house. You see, at times, that's why some people, when I became a pastor, I had a lot of problems. Because I was coming from the other side. I have problems with so many people, especially family-wise. And up to this moment, some people still stigmatize me or don't like me, and I did not gain anything or bother about whether they like me or they don't like me. The fact was that they saw that I have migrated to another faith. But the truth about myself is that what the King of Kings said from the beginning, that what I should become is what I'm doing. And that's why you see Jesus Christ said, you don't understand the word when he said in John 8:32, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So you see what I'm saying now? It's about what I said last week. You are a man of influence. Somebody can come to you and say, your own is too much. But why are you influencing people? It's not because you have the fact, but you have discovered the truth. So the truth is what brings freedom. The truth. I don't know whether I'm making sense to somebody. Because somebody look at you, even though you at times, you look at yourself, you say, with the economic situation of this nation, how will I make it? Maybe life will come to an end. Life will never come to an end. The fact is that the situation you find yourself, things are very hard now, but it's not going to be like that forever. Okay, let me bring your mind back to when we established this ministry. This ministry was established 24th September 2000, and we were 24 members. Now, the fact was that we were under a canopy. And the 24 members that came for the first day, not all the 24 members also returned the next Sunday. It reduced to maybe we are 17 or 12. Now, and somebody walked in front of the church and said, go and see the man. He's wasting his time. That was a fact. He saw just minute people there. But the truth is that God is bringing us to a place where He's going to build a magnificent building. And a lot of people, whether you like it or not, the time is coming, all over the world, will be trooping in. Now, if you don't know that truth, you get worried. This is where many of us get entangled. This is where many of us had so many problems about our lives that brought pressures, that made us to have. For the fact that you visited a doctor and discovered that, okay, at this moment, it looks as you are going to have a bronchitis. Maybe you open yourself to too much air, and you live in a cold place, or you centralize your air condition towards your heart, and it has filled the place so much. When you go through the machine for a test, it will show that your heart is filled with so much air. Now, because he's a medical doctor, the fact they taught him at the university is that when there's so much air between the lungs and the ribs, it can lead to bronchitis. So the doctor can write and say, okay, am I lying, nurses? The doctor can write and say, okay, it looks like you're going to have bronchitis. Then we need to admit you. But the truth says, I am your healer. Maybe you may walk out of that place and you happen to meet somebody and say, what happened to you? So, doctor said, it's bronchitis. So, no, you don't have bronchitis. Why not get some cardigan and double the way you dress? Maybe you don't have enough. You see, many of us don't understand something. Some people have enough flesh in their bodies. So when they are in a place, when it is very cool, they don't feel it. But some people don't have any flesh in their body. They only have bones and their veins. So when they are in a place, they feel so cold. So maybe that person now tells you, now, why not get a cardigan and every morning be taking hot water. Hot water. Don't take cold thing. Hot water. Then you started taking hot water. And as you are taking it, it's draining the air that has filled your lungs. And within 1 week or 2 weeks, you go back to the doctor. He said, go for X-ray, ECG. You return back with your X-ray folder. He said, but you don't have it anymore. But last 2 weeks, the fact was that your heart was filled with air. So what is a fact? A fact is the present tense of situation. That does not mean you. Yes. That's why many of us are, at times, we are in the prison of people's opinion. The truth says, I know the thought I think towards you. They are thought of good, not of evil, to take you to your expected end. That was what the truth says. That's why Jesus said in John 14 verse 6, he said, I am. Look at the way he described himself. I am the truth, the way, and life. So that's why, if you know Jesus, the only thing he'll start to tell you is about the truth about yourself. If you don't know Jesus, the only thing you'll be hearing from people is about the fact of the position that you occupy presently. Oh, she's barren. Oh, she's a pauper. Oh, if you meet her, she doesn't have anything. That's the fact. But that fact cannot control your tomorrow. Now, you know the person who is telling you, I am the way, the truth, and the life, is the Creator. He can change anything. Whether in a deplorable state, whether it's so bad, whether people have mocked you, or they have said all kinds of things against you, because he manufactured you. The manufacturer of a product has the right and know the truth about the products. Am I making sense to you? That's why you see every good manufacturer will put a manuscript, a manual in anything that he manufactured, because he manufactured it. And he said, go through the manual before you start to operate the machine. And when you go through the manual according to the way the manufacturer has prescribed in the manual, you see that the thing will function effectively because he made it. Now, somebody that did not make you, he only saw you and his own perspective of fact about you that you are a thief. But the truth said, no, I made him. You just saw him as a thief now. In 10 years to come, he's a managing director. Am I making sense to you? Am I making sense to somebody? That's why I take it cool with you. When you start to understand the perspective of life. That's why I never get myself bothered about some certain things. That's why I feel cool all the time. Some people, you are bothered because what they will say. What they will say will imprison you. And that has made many to go beyond their level, that they can control things, and they have entered into a big trouble. Now let's look at one of the greatest facts and the greatest truths, and you see it now. Now the fact was that blind Bartimaeus was blind, and he was a beggar. And everybody that passed through the streets, out of compassion, dropped money to bless him, because he's blind, he's incapacitated. He was incapacitated. He cannot do anything because he could not see. Now, he heard that the truth was passing, and he knew that something will happen. He started shouting, Jesus, the Son of David, have mercy on me. The truth came. He said, what do you need? He said, I want to see. He said, okay, rise up and walk. So, what? Somebody who saw him as a beggar yesterday, today, he had gained his sight. You can't find him where he was sitting before to beg. He also will start to go out and fetch for himself. In the next 1 year, 2 years, you may see him driving Mercedes-Benz. Then you put your hand on your cheek and say, was that not the man that was begging before? You don't judge people because of the present situation. No. You don't judge people because of the present situation. And this is one of the things that has caused a lot of problems in our lives, in our businesses, in even our ministry, even our marriages. For the fact that your husband could not put down money enough today does not mean you should pack out of that house and leave that marriage. That's the fact. Maybe economic situation affected his business. You don't know what, but the truth says, I have made him a billionaire. The truth said, I've made him a trillionaire. So you see the problem now. You see, where will people lack wisdom? You see, I can't remember when Young Bishop said when he started his church, he said he passed through a lot of things. To an extent that one day he packed all his things and said, I'm no more interested in this work. It's just damn rubbish. He was looking at his present situation. Souls were not coming the way he was expecting. The church was not filled to the capacity that he was expecting. So he got annoyed. He went back home, told his wife he dumped the Bible, dumped everything. I'm no more interested in this thing. Just a damn rubbish thing. But he said, thank God he had a good mother-in-law. Bless you. His mother-in-law allowed him to have this lunch. And when he sat down, relaxed, at the cool of the day, his mother-in-law walked to him and said, look, don't you know that you are the greatest pastor in South Korea? You have been sent to save the whole South Korea. That's why you could not quickly get the souls you are expecting. Hallelujah. The woman now pumped sense into him. Then he woke up the next day. That was what transformed his life. Now, T.D. Jakes said, when he started preaching every morning, his wife would be wailing on him. Oh, you this rubbish poor man. Poor like a church rat. Get out! In Americans, how they talk. So one day, he was going, then he was having that notion of what his wife kept on saying. A very poor man, look at all your mates with nice house, nice car. He said, then something came to him and said, but I didn't make you poor. I've made you to be a great giant. And also to have a big mega church. He said he was going on the road and that thing came. He said that idea was what he took back to the church the next Sunday. And his message changed. He said since that day up to today, that is, anytime he's preaching, he's always looking, the moment he remembered that word of his wife, that anointing trigger. He said, look at him today. But the fact was that he was really poor. But the truth is different from facts. Stop yielding to the fact that people are saying about you. You will imprison yourself. Many are imprisoned because of the fact of the perspective that people perceive about them. Take a look at Jeremiah. God said, you are a prophet. He said, no. He said, no. How can I be a prophet? I mean, where will I get that unction? God said, even before, the truth now said, before your mother conceived you, I had ordained you. That's the truth. That was the truth. That was the blunt truth. That was the blunt truth. That's why if you want to move with people that speak the truth. That's why if I discover that somebody is a liar, it takes a long time to believe it. Because that person who playing on your intelligence is your greatest enemy. But those who speak the truth, they love you. But you know, in this world, those who speak the truth, they are always enemy of so many people. Because they don't like to join the bad wagon and be lying. And that's why many don't reach their destination in life. They live a forceful life. They lied and lied and lied and lied. A day is coming, it's going to crumble. Because it's not built by God. Anything you are doing and it's not the assistant of God is not there, it's fake. You blame yourself at the end of the day. Anything you are doing, God is not behind you. You are wasting your time. You will still blame yourself. Because God's hand is not there. Are you with me now? But if his hand is there, it doesn't matter. Take a look at Moses. He was picked by Pharaoh's daughter. And when Pharaoh's daughter picked him, he said, oh, this boy must be one of the Hebrew women's child. But I'll take him as my own. So Moses started living in the palace. That was the fact. But the truth about the life of Moses was that God created him to be a prophet to deliver his people from bondage. So when the Lord was speaking to him through the burning bush, that you are going back to Egypt to save your people, he couldn't believe it. He said, no. I've left that place and I've left that place. God said, no. He said, but I had killed somebody there. That was a fact. You killed. But I am that I am, that made the whole universe. People who should remember about your killing, I have wiped it away from their hearts. The power is in my hand. So go back. That was what I created you for. The truth has spoken. Please, you see, get things straight. Don't just be a church goer, because when I see some Christian the way they talk now, I just look at them. At times you compare yourself, or you compare your ministry, or you compare. The fact is just about the present. But the fact is not for the future. The truth controls the future. The truth, and once you embrace the truth, freedom comes. What did I mean by freedom? Somebody's trying to undermine you. Somebody's trying to look down on you. Somebody's trying to say all kinds of things about you. The truth said, no. You are one of the apples of my eyes. Then what is your business about the person saying all kinds of things about you? There was a time when we started our lives, we rented an apartment, and anytime I'm going to church, or we are going to church, you see some people gather together and they just whispering, and also you hear ripples. What is my business with that? And then I just carry my bag. Then it's all the time is with my Bible. Anywhere I'm going, my Bible. It's a big Bible, so it's always with me inside the bag. It's my Bible, all the time. So somebody said one day, every time it's Bible. It's none of my business. One day somebody told me, said, I was just walking, I said, every time these people say church. Is that my name? And the fact was that I'm going to church. So that does not hinder the truth about God saying, I will be a prophet and I will preach before people and I will save people for Him.